Hello, SuperCoaches. Welcome to week 2 of SuperCoach Finals. Quite a few shocks in the teams, actually, even though there's only 4 sides playing this weekend. Jett Hatton is with us. How did you go in the first week?
Not good at all, mate. Just to put it pretty plain. They had a few nice pods. I had Leka Halasima in there, play well, but I tried to get a Xavier Coates play, didn't go good, and didn't have Reece Walsh like you did, mate. So
yeah.
no
Reece
good.
Walsh is captain. I was off him all year in Classic until right at the end.
I was the opposite.
You bought him in and then traded him out.
Yeah. So no Reece Walsh for me, but it is what it is.
We've got a special guest as well, Finn English, the SuperCoach champion. He's 50k richer. How are you travelling?
Well, better now, mate. Thank you. A week removed from it. It's hard to still process it all, but I'm obviously very happy and thanks for the opportunity.
So it's been a hectic week. What's been happening in the last week or so?
Just overwhelming support from people around me and congratulating me, which I can't take for granted.
And so what do you think was your best trade of the year?
In terms of overall, probably going Turbo to Tedesco in round 3.
Yeah.
And he proved that he's still the number 1 fullback option. Probably scored the most points for me across the season.
Biggest mistake of the year?
Probably over the bye period, selling Drinkwater to Lehigh Hopewade when he had that negative break even and he got concussed the week that I bought.
I think Jett had that exact same problem.
No, I traded him in the week before, so I got his big score, yeah.
And so with the 50k, it sounds like you're going to be a very sensible man and put it towards something, or I don't know, maybe you're going to splurge. What's happening?
No, I'll try to be sensible. Trying to set myself up for the future, maybe something like a house.
Yeah, nice.
I'm still living with my parents at this age, so.
How good. Well, glad we can provide that for you. Let's talk about the top pods. I mean, you're always keen for a pod. Who's yours for this year?
There was a couple. I thought, I love storylines this time of year. It's obviously a lot different to the regular season. Like Lockie Galvin sitting there back on the left edge at the Doggies. I just think everyone's sort of counting the Doggies out. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a statement game. Everyone's been bagging him, saying, well, not really bagging him, but bagging the move by bringing him in when they were going so well. Back at 6 on that left, Matty Burton is an option outside of him.
Yeah,
I just think he can make a big statement game against Penrith and put up a nice little score.
I don't hate it at all, and one of the reasons is you should target the day game. The day game on the Sunday is going to be much bigger scoring, even though it's Panthers v Dogs and they have the better defences. I think that game there could be so many points in it, and there's guys galore in there. I think Matt Burton, even at centre, would be good. He's still kicking goals. Jacob Carraz, not that many people own for some reason, even though he makes 20-odd runs a game and had 5 offloads on the weekend. Even Blaze Talangi in that game, who was my pod for last week. I'm thinking of going him again this round. What are you thinking?
I'll stick to the same team. I'm thinking Casey McLean. That left centre spot's been prime real estate for Penrith this season. Ever since they hit their straps, he's scored very well. And, I know Crichton was named, but obviously it'd be a good bonus if he wasn't up there marking him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the defence from Stephen Crichton, even with a bung ankle, is probably going to be pretty good. On to quick lowdown on the rules for this week. I think the important ones are you can only have 3 players from each club. So for me, I'm going to go, I like that Panthers v Bulldogs game. I'll get 3 guys from each of those teams, which leaves only 2 players from the other game. I think that's the way to go, the day game on the Sunday. I just think there's going to be a lot of points in that, mate.
Yeah, well, it prevents me from having every single Cronulla player on my team, which is what I would have done. But, I don't know. I don't know about that theory about the day games could have more points, just because of how many points I know Cronulla can concede, even though they've been good, and just the way Canberra fell apart on Sunday night, and especially on that left edge there. I think there's a few good options, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the day game might be good. I think it's going to be a really intense one, that game. That's why I've got a few pods at the front row. I think like Max King could be in for big minutes and those type of guys. So, yeah.
Let's chat hooker. Blake Brayley, I think, is by far the most popular. Well, he is the most popular guy. And I don't see any reason why you'll go against that. The only guy you could go with instead is Tom Starling, who actually played 86 minutes on the weekend, given that there was 3 bits of golden point. But Brayley's just been so good in SuperCoach. Can you go against Brayley?
He's hard to look past. I know Harry Grant was the popular hooker, but obviously he's not playing, so Brayley's the next standout option. I like Starling too, to be honest. He looked pretty good on the weekend, and he's scored well this season as well.
Yeah, Starling was killing it. He was just running at every opportunity that he could get. So if you're looking for a pod and you want to stack a few more Sharks players, then having Starling there is definitely not a bad option.
Yeah, the issue is that he's got Owen Paddy on the bench, and Paddy only played 9 minutes, even though it was like a 90-something minute game. So that's the issue I've got, that Paddy, he's averaged around 20 minutes for the year. So I don't think Starling's going to be playing 60. I think he's going to be playing 60, whereas Blake Brayley's going to play 80 no matter what.
Yep.
Onto the front row, so it's pretty open here. Isaiah Papali'i was the best from last week, but he only played 39 minutes. So I'm going to avoid Papali'i. Maybe go with Joseph Tapine, who only played 64 minutes, couldn't get back on when the golden point stuff was happening.
Yeah, he was he's unreal. He's going to play big minutes again. Obviously, must-win game because they can get eliminated this week. As I said before, I think Max King's a nice little pod option. Fanor Blake probably plays more minutes. They really needed him last week, and as soon as he come back on, I know he didn't score much SuperCoach-wise, but he was probably the best on ground for me in that game, and it wouldn't surprise if Fitzy played him quite a few minutes, and he was the top scorer in the front row this round.
Who are you liking?
I think I like AFB the most. If you're taking a front rower for the week, he's got the most upside, I think. He loves a meat pie.
In the back row, so I currently am going for a bit of upside on Jacob Preston, which is a definite pod move, but he can go big. Isaiah Yeo is probably the guy who'll be the most popular in this slot. 80 minutes is guaranteed. 69 in base in 80 minutes on the weekend, and we know he's got some attack in him as well.
For me, I was pretty keen on Liam Martin. He's obviously never SuperCoach relevant. That's because SuperCoach hasn't been in the finals, and when that game's accounted, and played 80 minutes on the weekend, looked really good, nutted out a pretty good SuperCoach score. So I think he's going to have a big game when the lights get bright. Liam Martin likes to stand up, so I might chuck him in there as a sneaky pod.
I think I like Hudson Young. Last weekend he looked back to being a beast. His form did drop off towards the back end of the regular season, but if he's back to looking like that, I think he's the number one.
He can just score points in so many different ways. He's got the try assist off that little kick. Then he scored a try as well. He just looked great, and Reece Walsh was completely caught out in defence on both occasions. But of course, Reece just worries about the attack.
Yeah, Hudson Young is going to be so highly owned, and that's my only issue is you sort of hope that he has a bad one and get somewhere else.
Corey Horsburgh could be an option as well, although I think he might have been a little bit inflated by the increased minutes in that game with the 3 golden point periods. Halfback, is there any point going someone other than Nathan Cleary here? Probably chuck the C on him as well.
I think that's a safe move.
Yeah,
it's hard to look past, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't go past Cleary. You know how much I love Nico, but yeah, just the way Trindle looked on the weekend, and you don't know who's going to go big when these games get hard for Cronulla. So you know Cleary's the man. He's probably going to be the top scorer of the round.
So at halfback, there's some really high-scoring guys there. Nico Hines from your Sharkies, you can chuck him in the flex. So if you've got 2 halfbacks that you like, chuck one of them in the flex. Like Nico, I think would be a really good option.
Yep, 100%. But there's a few other guys that I don't know if it's a lot different SuperCoach Finals because these games are really tight, and that's when you might want to have 2 back rows in there that are going to base high, like an Isaiah Yeo and maybe a Fanor Blake in the front row, just stuff like that. I think that's what I'm going to be playing like that, just because you're not going to get these 50 to 10 games that you hope an outside back scores 150. I don't think those scores are going to show up.
Let's move on to 5'8". So Matt Burton was the best in the slot last week. Do you like him at left centre, which presumably is where he plays? I know that Crichton's been named on the extended bench, but apparently he is only an outside chance. So looks like Burton plays left centre, still kicking goals, but he's got Galvin inside him, as you mentioned.
Assuming he does play centre, I don't think I would pick him. I think 5'8" Fem's more conducive to points. I think I would be looking at someone like Blaise Talungi or Ethan Strange for that upside.
Yeah, Talangi I had last week, and I wasn't completely disappointed, but he's that sort of guy who can go massive, and I like that matchup, that day game, so I reckon there'll be a lot of points in that clash. So Talangi is a definite option for me. At the Braden Trindle, any love for him?
I've never seen him play as good as what he did on the weekend. It probably can't go any higher than that, and it's a tougher matchup against the Raiders this week. But I like obviously I like Galvin there, but I also really like Burton just because he's won a comp at left centre back in those days when he was playing at Penrith. He was one of the better centre wings in SuperCoach. I can't remember what his average is off the top of my head from that year, but it was really good. His try scoring potential probably goes up more. I don't mind Matt Burton as a shout.
On to centre wing. So Jacob Carraz, 24 runs and 5 offloads on the weekend. So you know that you're just going to get massive base from him. Does he score a try against the Panthers? Who knows? But either way, I think he'll be really popular.
Yep. I think Brian Toller might be the most popular centre wing, but yeah, I think Kiraz is probably under-owned and it should be considered.
Well, Brian Toller I've actually got in my flex position right now, so I think I'm going to go with 2 centre wingers. What are you thinking for the CTW position?
Well, Reece Walsh absolutely rinsed the Raiders on the left edge on the weekend. Then you got Mulatalo there for the Sharks. You got Kale Iro, who can put up a massive score. I really like that left edge for the Sharks. You've also got Jesse Ramian, who was really busy. He didn't get many attacking stats, but he had a lot of runs on the weekend and he was awesome. But I think I want to target left edge against those Raiders, so probably Kale Iro or Mulatalo.
And then fullback, it's not nearly as strong as it usually is. Usually you've got, for SuperCoach Finals, I know that I had 2 players from fullback, one at fullback and one at flex. I don't think it's going to be the case this week because you've got Dylan Edwards, who's in a little bit of a form slump SuperCoach-wise, only averaging 51 over the last 3. Then you've got Kyo Weeks, who's a complete freak, but he doesn't really translate to SuperCoach. Connor Tracy could be a bit of a pod if he plays fullback because he's been switching between centre and fullback recently, depending on what Stephen Crichton's doing. What are you thinking at fullback?
Well, it is tough without Tedesco and Walsh to be able to select. I still think people will flock to Dylan Edwards as the standout option.
Yep. Yeah, I've got him locked in for now.
Yeah, me too. I just got written down disrespect. There's 4 fullbacks playing on the weekend and you've only got 3 written down, so poor old Will Kennedy. Yeah, poor old Will Kennedy. Looked good on the weekend.
Speaking of someone who doesn't translate to SuperCoach.
Oh, I know. I went and looked back at the scores today because I thought he was awesome on the weekend. They only scored 30. I was like, you're kidding. Yeah. I'll probably go Dylan Edwards, but
I mean, you're going to get 20 runs from Edwards
at
least, whereas you're not going to get even close to that from Kennedy.
No.
Even if he potentially has a lot more impact on the game.
Yeah.
Flex, what's your tactic at flex? For me, I'm really leaning towards 2 centre wingers there in Carraz or Tu'o, so I'd carry 2 guys in that slot, or Nico Hines is calling at me, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
I like your shout from earlier. I think I'd be wanting both Cleary and Hines this week. So you chuck Hines at the flex, and I think captaincy on both of them is a good move.
Huge. Yep.
Yeah, I said it before. I think I'm going to pick 2 big middle forwards who are going to play a lot of minutes and just give me a solid score because I think there's a good chance Nico or Cleary. I feel like one of those guys will probably score sub 60, and I feel like if you get 2 nice guys that are going to score 70 plus, I think that's just a safer option.
Jett Hatton playing safe.
I know.
It's like
it's taken me all year.
I reckon. And we're playing like a short form final format, and you're playing safe.
I know. But
sensational.
Yeah. Stranger things happen.
Well, big thanks to Jett. Big thanks to Finn, our winner for this year. 50k richer. We'll catch you next week.